All right, welcome once again to another episode of Sports Therapy with FH Jr. I am your host. Welcome to another Saturday morning, and we are getting closer and closer to the start of the official football season. Although we have preseason, and that's going to be the topic of the day. But before we begin, let's talk about the rules. These are the rules. For those who don't like to follow rules, these are the rules for the rule breakers. First of all, we got our little introduction in, so we don't have to do that. I normally start off with a good 20 seconds of introduction of sports therapy with FH Jr. Then we lead into what we do and what we don't do. Okay, sports therapy is sports entertainment only. Although I am a certified counselor, I do not provide any real counseling. This is entertainment only. And we do not talk about politics. We don't talk about race relations, or do we talk about sexual orientation? We don't care about any of that stuff. Don't want to hear about what's going on in the world of politics. We don't. This is just a show designed for everyone to get their fun and yucks on. And that being said, also, let me say this too. Callers, you will have up to 2 minutes to either rant, rip your team or another team, or you can laugh, or you can just kick some knowledge about all things NFL. Now, we don't have enough time to talk about an entire football game, so let's try to pick one specific topic that's on your mind, or just kind of kick you over the edge and you just want to talk to somebody about. That's what sports therapy is all about. That being said, we're going to start into today's show. Today's topic, preseason. You guys know how I feel about preseason. If you're just tuning in, let me give you a number if you want to call in live, because this is a live show. We are streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to call in live and express yourself, you can. And the number is 940-329-4110. 940-321-4110. Call in and you'll have 2 minutes to either rip, rant, kick a little knowledge, or just say what's on your mind. Whew, that was a lot to say. All right, now preseason is back. Today's topic is we're going to. I know everybody remember when we were in school, and one of the things I used to love when I was in school is when the teacher would say, "Hey, we're gonna exchange papers and grade each other's paper." That was your chance to get a real good grade, because you would often exchange papers with your buddy or someone that that's kind of in your corner. And so they would always give you that A in everything, even though you may have missed all the problem. But your boy is not going to give you a bad grade if he's your boy, okay, or your girl, or your dog, or your road dog, or even your frenemy. That's what the young folks have now, a frenemy. I got to come around on that frenemy though, because if you my enemy, you my enemy. But they have a combination of friend and enemy, frenemy. So that being said, we're going to talk about the preseason games that's been played so far, and we're going to assign a grade. Now, you guys know how I feel about the preseason. First of all, I don't like preseason games. I just think it is what it is. But we're going to talk about the preseason games, and we're going to assign a grade to all the games that played last night. Now, I'll be honest, everybody's going to start with a B. Everybody will start with a B, and then we'll work down from there. Now, can you get an F? Probably not, because the first preseason games pretty much, just a dress rehearsal. So that's where we're going to start. Now, remember, if you want to call in, the number to call in is 940-329-4110, and you can get your opinion on. Let's see here. Now, the first game that I watched, and you know what, and I told people, I said, hey, you know what, my goal is to watch every game, especially when they're live. That way, I'll be able to discuss I'll be able to talk about the game because I can't talk about the games if I don't see the games. Now, am I gonna watch all of them? That's my goal. But last night, I had a chance to. I made it home. I'm glad preseason is back. That means football is back. And the first game I watched, believe it or not, with those, got a chance to see the Titans and the Ravens. Here we go. Now, in that game, let's see. Nobody really didn't start any starters, and I'm cool with that. But here's the thing I want to talk about my Ravens. Well, they're not really my team, but is the Ravens have this thing going on. I don't know if it's are they just doing stick, as they say in the comedy world, or do they consciously say we're going to go out and keep this winning streak going? I think they hadn't lost a game. It's been a preseason game, and oh wow. So they were playing last night, and one kid I did like, and he was for and I'll be honest, if you're the starting quarterback for the Titans, you might want to look over your shoulder because Malik Willis out of Liberty, rookie, he showed a little something, something. He got a little wiggle, a little waddle, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because now I gotta say this, Malik, although he's a rookie coming from Liberty, he got some big game experience because this young man played for 2 years at Auburn. So he was in a SEC program. He's used to going hand in hand with the big boys. So he showed me something last night. I can tell you one play in particular. They were deep in the Ravens territory, and he did a little quarterback keeper, bootleg as the old schoolers, and around he went around the left end and ran that bad boy in for a touchdown. And I was like, okay. But now you can take those type of chances with your rookie quarterback if you don't think he's gonna start. That's cool. You can do that. Okay. Now Ravens didn't no starters really didn't play. They didn't show too much. And that's I tell people when it comes to preseason game, especially that first game, they are not gonna show too much. It's about conditioning. You want to know, did the guys did they stick with the preseason plan that they were given over the summer? Things to work on. If you're an offensive lineman, you had an assignment. If you're a defensive lineman, you had an assignment. Rookie, this is what we're expecting. Guys who veterans, you're given an assignment, and it's about conditioning. Remember, in one of our previous shows, we talked about how compared to how things used to be in the league, where you had to utilize the preseason as a way to get everybody in shape because hell, they weren't paying anybody any money. So a lot of the players took extra jobs, and so working on the dock or I don't know, hell, doing something. But a lot of guys reported to camp out of shape, and NFL had contracts with many of the networks, and so you couldn't put out a BS product out there. So that's why preseason was used mostly as conditioning, but that's changed with guys are coming into the league. With good habits. They're reporting to training camp. The expectation is for you to come into training camp in shape. OTAs, things of that. Then you had the voluntary report in the camp. One of the Cowboys once said, "What does voluntary means?" But in the game, now I said I'm gonna sign a grade to all of the games that was played last night. So Ravens won, but I'm gonna give every team a B. Both teams get a B. You get a B. Miss Hammond not that hard. F.A. Junior not that hard. You can't fail my class unless you just don't show up. Oh, that. But that was a game I watched. I watched the Ravens and the Titans. Like I said, neither team didn't really didn't starters played, but it was more about conditioning because remember we said they don't get there's no game planning for the team you're gonna play. You just kind of get on the plane, jocks, socks, helmet, and a willing heart, and you go play. See football, tackle football. They keep it basic, and that's how things were. So nobody, no team failed. And of course, the Ravens kept their winning streak going, which was that was a score 23-10. Now the game was a lot closer than the score. Now I will be honest. I will be honest. After all the starters were taken out, I bail out. I bail. I do, and I'm not the only one. But I want to ask a question. I know we all are missing football. We were, and football is back. And I don't fan shame. There is no fan shaming on sports therapy with FH Jr. We don't do that. But if you're one of those people that you tailgate, that you tailgate for a preseason game, there just might be something wrong with you. Ponder on that. If you got bratwursts, ribs, barbecue, some brew, you got all that going on for a preseason game. Well, first of all, call me over, get me a plate, and then we're talking about why the hell you got all this stuff going on? It's just a preseason game. Just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying. But there is no fan shaming on sports therapy with FH Jr. We don't fan shame. Now, if you're just tuning in and you want to know what the hell am I seeing, what am I doing, who is this guy? This is sports therapy with FH Jr. And we have a call in. If you want to call in live, 940-329-4110, and we will get you on and you can express yourself. And also, until we actually start the actual real, when I say the real football season, anybody call in if you got something going on like an event or anything that you're doing in the community. If you want to get a plug for your business, you can do so as long as it's legal. As long as it's legal, and we can make that happen. Now, like I said, that game last night I watched, Ravens versus the Titans. Malik Willis kind of showed me a little something. I was impressed. And I give both teams a B. Both teams get a B. How about that? Now, second, I watched the Jags versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, I don't know where everybody, wherever you fall on the with the Cleveland Browns and their quarterback situation, it is what it is. It is what it is. But in regards to that game, it was exciting. I will say this: the Jags, they started their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. He started. Now, I got this theory, and it's just my theory. I have a theory on preseason games. I believe that the teams who know that they have a good team and know that they got something going on and they know that they're going to be competitive, I don't think they really, 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 really go all out in the preseason as far as, taking a chance on any type of injury. I don't think they take chances of showing anything. I think those guys kind of know what they got. But I believe that if you're a team and you know you have to get something ready, you got to get your team ready. You got to make sure your quarterback is ready, your offense is ready, your offensive line is ready. You want to see any of those new players that you bought in. Are you getting your money's worth? Because if we talk about the Jags last year, although that whole situation was a dumpster fire, I got another word I could say, but did not have to hit my own my own cussing bell. And you guys know I don't use profanity, not often. But Lawrence started. The game was pretty competitive, but it was preseason. You figured, you call it like, yeah, whatever. But I like the way he opened up and just kind of went down the field, threw a couple of bombs. Now the guy is a lot. The guy is more mobile than I thought he was, and I watched him in college when he played for Clemson, and so I knew he had he had some wheels, and he got a chance to put his wheels on display last night. But the biggest issue was, building off of last year with that whole coaching change, all that cray that they had down there. Um, to me, that game last night, I wouldn't call it a dress rehearsal, but I just know that the Jags had to be able to show something because his rookie year wasn't good at all. They had they got their butt kicked almost every game. Um, Travis Etienne got injured. He came back. He was looking good last. What I saw of him, they tried to make sure they got him off. Um, from the Browns, they, you know, like I said, that whole quarterback situation, it's a hot mess. They're not sure if the quarterback is going to be. Is he going to be there? Is he not going to be there? Is he going to be there for 6 games? Is he going to be for? And when I say the quarterback, I'm talking about Deshaun Watson. Now, wherever you come down on that situation, it's going to work out one way or the other. He's going to be good or bad. Now, but I will say this: he went on an apology tour, and that may be the best thing to do. Is hey, sometimes you have to be contrite, but they did let him start. He started preseason game. Now, keep in mind, this young man hadn't played football in almost a complete year, so and he's going to a new team. So you go from a new team, you hadn't played football, so if you expect him to be able to just come out there and rock and roll and look like hey, he's ready to unleash, that's not going to happen because it's a new system, new quarterback, new system, and he hadn't played in a year. So they allowed him to start. That was some controversy behind that. He was given the opportunity to start. Um, a lot of people kind of pissed off about that whole situation, but um, but what I saw of him was I think he got like a total of like 5 plays. They tried to knock the rust off. I did see where you can tell he's a hell of an athlete. Oh, okay, he's an elite athlete. Got some, he can throw that thing. Boy got a gun, a cannon for an arm. Timing is all between him and the receivers. I could see that. But you know, but getting back to the Jags, when I watched the game, I was looking for something different. As I tell my listeners, I don't watch preseason games to see, um, you know, I don't watch to see if they're gonna be a four is for if it's gonna be a good game or not. I usually just try to see where the teams are compared to last year. The Jags had an offensive line that was terrible. Hell, I could have ran back there and sacked Trevor Lawrence. So I was watching last night to see had they really addressed their offensive line issues. Now, just a glance, but keep in mind defenses don't really play anything other than their base, the base defense. They're not going to show anything at all because, of course, people could be scouting and watching for things. So they really didn't show anything. But what I did see, I did like. I like the fact that it appears that the Jags have addressed the offensive line issues because I don't give a fat rat's butt how good you are as a quarterback. Nobody likes getting their head bashed in. So when you can't protect your quarterback, all of a sudden, especially a young quarterback, they'll start to get a little gun shy. Instead of standing strong in the pocket and waiting until that wide receiver opens up, you'll start to kind of eyes will start to come down, and you're looking at, oh, where is that linebacker? Is that safety blitzing? And you know, now all of a sudden he's throwing that pass maybe a second, a half second before he really wants to, and that throws that whole route off between quarterback and receiver. So it makes a difference. Now, if you got a good offensive line and you giving your quarterback that protection, especially a young quarterback, and if you're the defense, you want to be able to get back there and rattle that young quarterback before he can actually get some time in here. You know. Now I'm going to hold on. Let me see here. I may have to go back and reset. I have to go back and reset. My call in because hold on. Let's see where we are with that. Okay, let's bring that back up. I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna reset this real quick so that if anyone wants to call, because a lot of times if we don't get a call within 15 minutes, I always have to manually go in and reset this back up. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna reset this. But as I was saying, what the Jags showed me last night in regards to the protection that it seems that they have in place, I think that was a good deal. So I'm going to reset this time real quick. Bear with me, folks. Let's see here. So it must be still on. So it should be still good. Okay. So anyway, getting back to that game from last night, watching the Jags, I think they did address their issues. Trevor Lawrence played. In fact, he actually played longer than I thought he would get to play. Hell, he played the whole first quarter, which was cool. That was exciting. I was shocked that they gave him that much time, but let's see.
Thank you for calling
All
Call-In
right,
Studios host and call screener line.
set this back
Please
up.
enter your show or meeting number and press pound. Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
All right, we got that back up and running. So if anyone want to call in, the number is 940-329-4110. Call in and we should be able to, you can get through and we can put you online. But as I was saying, getting back to the game that I watched last night, and like I said, that was between our the Jags and I watched that game. So hold on, let me get somebody in here. Sports Therapy, FH Jr.
Hello, 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 hello.
What say ye?
Hey, not a whole lot. You talking? The topic today is talking about officials and fans and etc. Is that it?
Well, we talked last week, but today we're gonna talk a little bit about the preseason games that were played last night. Because now
Okay, okay.
we're gonna try to assign a grade. Every team gonna start with a B, and they're gonna go worse from there. Now we know that last night we had the Jags was playing. We had Jags and Browns was playing. Giants played the
Yeah.
Patriots. Lions against Falcons. Packers played the 49ers. We had the Cardinals against the Bengals, and we had the Titans play the Ravens. Did you get a chance to watch any of that good football last night?
I was doing. So I'm a football official, so I
Mm-hmm.
was doing a scrimmage last night, and I caught ESPN. As everybody, you got to
Right,
pick up
right,
a
right, right,
holiday in
right, right.
sports, and
Okay.
so I was able to catch a little bit of that. Some of the plays that the Browns and the Jags actually were able to kind of get off. The Lions played pretty good last night, so they say. It's preseason. Everybody looks good, in the preseason. Of
you
course, you can't touch quarterbacks. But my man in Cleveland he didn't fare too well. Maybe it's all due to, and I'm talking about Deshaun
Oh
Watson,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because,
I agree.
because of the issues that he has at hand, and he was able to talk a little bit more about it, disclose a little bit of the information, but, as we know, man, I don't think it's all what they're saying. It's all cut up like they're saying it is with Deshaun Watson. Man, you either gonna let him play or you're not gonna let him play.
You know what?
Let's stop all this nonsense.
And you know what? I watched that game last night, and he did get to start. Um, and as I was saying, I was telling the listeners that Deshaun, he's coming from, you know, he hadn't played in a year,
Right, two
and
years.
yeah, pretty much 2 years. Now you're coming to a team where it's a new system. You haven't had a chance to get on the right page with anybody, and so that was one of the reasons that I'm pretty sure that they wanted him to play, so to kind of get him used to some more live fire. See, can he get the timing down between him and his new receivers and all? Because at the end of the day, whether he's going to be suspended for 6 games, the whole season, you still need to be able to know what you got. And like you said, that whole situation. Now, one thing I did like the fact that he did apologize and took some ownership as to what happened, because that's one thing they were saying. Well, he's not showing any he's not showing that that he's really feeling bad about what happened. But at the end of the day, he did look a little rusty. And that was because the timing was off between him and the receivers, if you know what I mean. It's almost like, okay, it's just like
Right.
if me and you go in the backyard and we play pitch and catch. Yeah, okay, we've been doing it for so long. I know where you're gonna be, you know where I'm gonna be with the ball. But when it comes
Right.
to that relationship between the quarterback and the receiver, that has to be something where they got to get the timing down, and just because one quarterback, the velocity of which he throws may be totally different than this other guy, you know.
Uh huh.
But
Uh huh.
but yeah, I did watch that game. Now I'll tell you what Trevor Lawrence got to play. But I like the I don't know if you're familiar with the other young kid that was a running back, and both of those guys were at Clemson together. So that was like, okay, I got my boy back and I'm good. Which was Travis Etienne. Now he looked good. Um, they gave him a couple of gave him a couple handoffs to kind of get him back in the saddle, get him all lathered up.
Right.
But I didn't realize that. Now remember, last year that whole Jag situation was terrible. The coach was terrible, and he was a rookie. So
Of course. Right.
so you need to have him out there getting as much live fire as he can get. What do you think?
Well, the thing about anytime you get ready to play, weather has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Just staying in good health has a lot to do with it. But it's the NFL. That's the best of the best. And so what you have is a situation where, these guys can come out and play and do their very best, even when they're weak at their most. But for the most part, it's the NFL, and so we're ready for that. It's been a long, dreadful lay off from the season, of course, with all the trades, all the big names moving around.
I
And
know.
so now it's time to get it on. Get your popcorn ready because Sunday's here. In about 2.5 weeks, we'll be ready to rock and roll. I want to see some football, and I want to see some good quality football. But as you know, NFL stands for not for long. So we all
Not
know that,
for
hey, these
long.
guys are professionals. Yeah, it doesn't last for long, and so they have a little small, narrow window. Whatever Deshaun Watson's going to do, he's going to do it. Whatever people, the perception of the public is real. But in reality, we all know that, hey, you know, let's get this thing going. If we're going to watch football, I'm also a fan of football.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited about the season and what's coming up. And so tonight, I think the Cowboys play. So I'll be, trying to look at what the Cowboys have. But again, it's just something, these second string guys, these third string guys, these no name guys, this is where they make their mark. And so let's do it. I got my popcorn and my hot wings ready. I want to see some football. I know that any given time these guys can go down. It's the next man up, and so it's a young man's league, and with anything, talent with athleticism is always a good thing to see when you're seeing it on TV. But when you're in the presence of guys who careers are just shortened by injury. You just have to be on edge a little bit and just be excited and live in the moment. Just take those moments in.
Oh yeah. And
Because tickets are going up.
yeah,
Tickets are going up.
definitely, definitely.
So I'd rather stay at home and use my own bathroom than to use a public restroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't have to stay in line as long as you're using your own bathroom at the house compared
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. I can get my own blue Kool-Aid and be just fine.
And
Yes, sir.
and the key thing that you said that made a lot of sense, especially with the Deshaun Watson situation. And what I tell people is that being a counselor, I know that to me that situation it's gonna work itself out one way or the other. Now, but here's the thing I've said, and this is how I feel. Do the young man have a right to earn a living now? Because we're in that situation where we want to counsel people for a lot of things. Um,
Hmm.
how often do any of us? Because we all have been young. We've all done dumb things. Okay. Now, I think I
Hmm.
would come down harder on Deshaun if he was like Jerry Jones' age, just an old dude with plenty of money out here just acting out, you know. But
Hmm.
a
Right.
young a
Right.
young guy with money, he's gonna do stupid stuff. A young girl with a young lady with money, they do stupid things. But
Okay.
at some point, they still, they still should be able to earn a living. So let's don't I don't want to brand a young man as a sexual
Uh-huh.
predator or whatever. Yeah, he might have been, like I said, he got plenty of money. He's an idiot. He did some
Hmm.
idiot stuff. Um,
Uh-huh.
Punish him. And I understand that some people may think 6 games may not be enough. Okay, let's get together
Right.
somehow and come up with something, that everybody can live with. Our female fans can live with,
Okay.
the owners can live with, the league can live with, and let's move forward.
Okay.
But because I think he does have a right to earn a living, and I think that he'll learn from this, and I'm saying it because to me I think the situation is bigger than the Cleveland Browns organization because we're talking about life, and like I said,
Okay.
we've all done
Right.
stupid stuff.
Sure. Of
God,
course.
man, trust me,
So
we all,
right there, we can put a pin in it right there.
yeah,
FH. Here's the here's the real big deal. The real big deal is simply this: this guy's making over $200 million
mm-hmm,
in our lifetime. And I'm just talking about you and I. In
yes,
our lifetime, we probably would never, ever, ever touch any of that kind of money, right?
no
We can
sir,
only dream about having. That's like hitting life, right, for us.
mm-hmm,
But he has an opportunity. And life has to be financed. So
mm-hmm,
whatever life you want to live, it has to be financed. So I can't, as a human being and a public figure, if I was one, I can't imagine what he's going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree.
he has endless opportunity. He's going to be a millionaire regardless of the fact he's still rich.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I probably would never, in my mind, I will probably never be rich like that,
Right.
filthy rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here we are, in public, dehumanizing him, demeaning him, saying all these wild, accusations that we only dream about because he's a celebrity,
Right.
a sports figure. Maybe there's some envy and jealousy there because of that. And so we say, well, he made a mistake, whatever that is. Maybe that's how he lives. We
Right.
don't know. But the more important fact is we got to look at the reality of it. He was never convicted in the court, right? In a court of public opinion, he's being just, just, just ran through the mud.
Right.
But in reality, they didn't give him any jail time. He's not going to receive anything when it comes to that. He was never arrested. So therefore, you know, it's just more so embarrassment. And I think that's an owner that's really, really rich that tried to embarrass him because he wanted to leave their team. You see, and I think it's deeper than what we really kind of see behind the scenes because he wanted out of Houston.
Right.
So if I want out of Houston and I'm an owner, well, I'm going to publicly. I can't really say that you can leave, but I'm going to publicly humiliate you. And let all these things kind of secretly get out to embarrass you. But in the end, he won again because he got a new team, he got a new contract, he's even more richer. And so those people who said he did all of these things, if you notice, they're even getting credit too because now they have money.
Right.
They have endless money as well. So he paid off all these people supposedly, you know. But here we are again, you know. We as just fans and fanatics, we're going crazy over here saying that you know, oh, he can't be on the team. He doesn't need to be on the team. I'm not going to watch the Browns. I love the Browns. They're my favorite team. And then there you go. You got sucked in. And so we just have to be very careful, about how we portray people, but how we put all this, onus on them to be always right or do the right thing, even when no one's watching. People are who they are. They're going to be who they are, whether they have money or don't have money. It's going to all come out and it's going to reveal itself. But the more important thing, let's try not to be so judgmental, because if the shoe was on the other foot and that was you in that situation, what would you be feeling and what would you be doing?
Right. Well, that's one of the
It's a
things.
tough situation.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've said that at what point do we counsel people when I say that, how many of us, and I heard a lot, and trust me, like I tell people, when you come on this show, your opinion is your opinion. You're not
Hmm.
right or wrong. You're entitled
Right,
to it, and then
right.
and I give you the space, and I don't criticize anybody's opinion. But the only thing that and I have a background in law enforcement, and so that's why
Okay,
I can see the dynamics a little bit different. And I would say if there were real criminal offenses, Sean
charges.
Watson would
Right,
be in prison or on
locked
his way
up.
on his way.
Of course,
Um,
absolutely.
I think there's gonna be when if we could, and none of us have seen any of the evidence. Everything is what's been on the news, hearsay, what's being
Circumstantial, of course.
and
Right.
what's being leaked out. And so we don't really know what the dynamics were because they're saying that some of the young ladies went back and forth. Some of the masseuse went back and forth to him more than once, and then But like I said, at the end of the day,
Wow.
you have Watson and you have the masseuse. You have their stories, but like I
Sure.
said, then there were some people that I talked to and says, well, if he was just you and me with an average salary
Um.
acting out,
Right.
hell, they would probably just slapped his face, left, and probably gave him a good cussing out, and then and then moved on. So,
Right. Right.
does fame plays into this? That did the fact that he wanted out of away from the Texans, did because there's so much, because I'm hearing that, well, the owner may have a little hand in kind of, because he wanted to leave. So because there's so much dynamics, and that's why I'm saying, hey, let's let everybody get together and come up with something that's gonna make everybody. Is
Right.
everybody gonna be happy? No. That's what
Of
mediation
course
is all
not.
about. Mediation doesn't mean that
Right.
everybody walks away happy. It means we all walk away with something that we can live with.
Right.
What can the league live
Yeah.
with?
Yeah.
What can the
Yeah.
young? What can
Yeah.
the?
That's tough.
You know what I'm saying? What can we all live with?
Yeah. That's
You
tough.
know, and
Yeah. That's tough.
and
That's
when
tough.
we can do that, then you know what I'm saying. And man, I'm so you know what?
Yeah.
I'm glad you calling in because what I tell people is that I like to let the show kind of like go where it's gonna go. You know what I mean?
Uh.
And
Okay.
and I got no problem with what we talking about today because at the end of the day, this is a show for you guys. It's for the fans.
Sure.
You know, I never wanted to have a show where I come on and talk about me. Because if that was the case, hell, we'd be talking
Right.
about the Washington Commanders for 60 minutes, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy for that because my cousin plays for the Commanders now. He's playing cornerback. Drayton is
Ah,
out there
yes.
from Cal, so I'm
Yes.
excited about that. Hopefully he'll land on with the team and he'll do great. So yeah, we can talk about the Commanders and we will. I'll call him next time. We'll talk
No,
about the
no, no.
Commanders
I'm
because
just saying,
you know
man.
it's a great,
I'm
great team.
saying I love your conversation, man. Shoot, man. We can make it do what it do. You know? But
Already,
and that's why I say, man,
already.
this is a fan giving show, man. It's someone to talk about and I'm glad, you expressing your views with Deshaun Watson and because like I said, um, the guy's a generational talent and had Cleveland not signed him, somebody else would have. Okay.
Yeah, somebody
Because
certainly gave him all the money, of course, right?
and if we're honest about professional athletes, what now and then we're talking about of course, our show is built around football, but if we're totally honest, and I tell people, if Jack the Ripper could bring me a Super Bowl, Jack the Ripper would be starting for somebody's team. Okay, they would just make sure
Right,
Jack had some.
right.
They would just make sure he had some handlers and make sure he didn't kill too many people.
That's right.
But he
That's
had
right.
that talent is there, and then that's an airy. That's an airy career, man. To be honest with you, you know,
Right,
you
right,
know,
of course, right?
and so now some of the games that I watched last night,
Uh huh.
you know, last week, man, I had the time of my life because there was a list that I read. It was called the top five worst fans in the NFL, and one was
Oh
I
wow.
think number five. Number five was the New Orleans Saints, and I think finally,
Oh,
but the last
oh,
team was the worst team in the league. Believe it or not, was the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the Cowboys came in third, but what it said about the
okay.
Eagles, what it said about the Eagles fan, and man, I laughed while I was trying. I had to restrain myself while I was reading it because it said that when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they terrorized their own city.
Right. I can see that. Just like yeah, I can certainly see that. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Eagle fan is something else.
oh man, and it talked about how they booed Santa Claus and they cheered when Mike Irvin got injured when he was laying on the turf. They were
Yeah,
thinking he's
I was watching that game. I remember that. Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. I certainly remember
so
that.
then it said that they would bring these D-sized batteries and throw them and throw them at the opposing fan
Yeah.
and throw them. Now I remember
Wow.
when I was watching a Cowboy game and the Cowboys were told that you never take your helmet off on while you on the field in Veteran Stadium because they would be throwing batteries, you know. So
Right. Right. Yeah, I've heard that before. Right.
so yeah, man, it was all wild. But anyway, man, I watched the Jags and the Browns play, and Deshaun got in there. And he started. Tried to knock a little rust off. I can tell you looking a little rusty and stuff, but keep in mind that's a whole new system that he's also getting exposed to.
Right.
He's just now
Right.
getting into
Right.
that system, and I like the fact that Trevor Lawrence. You know, now this is what I tell people. That's just my opinion. I say when it comes to the preseason games, I think that teams who really need to get something together, they're gonna play hard because they need to make sure that they work out some things. And the teams that know that they're going to have a pretty good team, they don't show too much. They don't get anybody hurt. And they just want to get through the preseason game. So I tell people, don't read anything into preseason at all.
See, my thing is, we don't need to have preseason games. We need to get
Hey,
because
bro,
the season is
look,
so long anyway, right?
I agree with you on that one.
Let's do one scrimmage. Let's do one or two scrimmages,
And get it
and then
on.
yeah, right before Labor Day, let's have the first kickoff of the season before the summer, because as you know, the sun is going down a little bit early, so we don't have as much daylight
Yes.
to work with, and so that night's gonna come pretty fast. But those 3 o'clock games,
Yes.
man, that's something. That's a sight for sore eyes. So, man, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited, man.
And you know what? Call one of the other teams that's local in your area. If you got a pro football team that's close by, hey man, call those guys up.
Okay.
Hey, look, let's have a scrimmage. You know what I mean? Just a little, let's scrimmage, maybe and be done with it. You're right. Practice, work on what you need to work on. Take a look at your rookies. Take a look at your offensive line. Right. That's it. But this stuff where we, and I made a joke about it earlier. And I don't know where you tune in. Then I said, "Hey, man, if you one of those guys that you tailgating when preseason start, because there are some people, you got the barbecue on,
Absolutely.
and it's preseason.
Yeah.
Now, come on now, nah."
Man, my guy just bought a new grill, man, and that's all he's been talking about. Going out to Cowboy Stadium and getting his grill on. So that's why I say, man, let's go and get it on, because he set the big screen TV up. He's got the tent going.
Yes.
He's got the grill going. He's ready to go, man. So, man, like I said, I'm excited, man. It's fun this time of year, man. School's back in for some, and for others, they're getting ready to get kicked off, but. Man, it's football season.
It is football season.
Friday night, Thursday night.
It's there.
Middle
but
school's getting ready to kick off. Pee Wee's kicking off, so we ready, man. Let's go.
And let's make those parents come out there and just cheer you on as a referee, right?
Yeah. We'll talk more about that the next time, man. These fans and fanatics. Because we got a ton of them, man. I think there needs to be some police to handle that, man. Crowd control. Because, man, we got some people who just don't know how to behave themselves. That's incredible to me. You just can't behave yourselves, man. And then you want to talk about Deshaun Watson not behaving himself. Come on, man. Talking about the pot calling the kettle black, man. Stop it. Yeah.
Hey, I watched the 49ers and the Packers play. Now, Trey Lance,
okay.
I understand why they gave Jimmy G his walking papers, because Lance was looking pretty good. He was looking pretty good, man.
Well, I got a bet. A buddy of mine bet me that the San Francisco 49ers would beat the Arizona Cardinals twice this year. So I'm saying this publicly on your radio. I got a bet out there.
Come on with it.
Mine bet me last Friday night that San Francisco, Trey Lance, would beat the Arizona Cardinals twice this year. They play them twice, and he's going to beat them both times. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't think. Like I said, now he has a gun of an arm. And he is a mobile big guy. But this is what I tell everybody when it comes to the preseason. You can't. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, he looked pretty good. But the defense is not showing anything. Everybody's playing just the basic defense. You know what I'm saying? They're not showing any stunts. They're just letting him just kick back and reading where this guy is going to be. So, like I tell people, you cannot read anything into preseason football, man. I watched the game.
Right.
It goes back to what I'm saying. If you're a team and you got to get something ready, and they needed to make sure that Lance is ready to play, because you pretty much said he's going to take Jimmy G's place. So they needed to let him get some playing time. So he played a long time, almost the whole first quarter, because remember he's the man now. So we got to get him
Right.
acclimated, and got to get him seasoned, just like good meat. You got to get him seasoned. it's, it's so, and that's what they were doing, man. They were sprinkling, little, all them little ingredients we gotta have. When we season that meat, man, they gotta have some seasoning salt, a little seasoning salt on it,
Right.
and they gotta get him right, man. Little rub, got to put a little rub on him, get him seasoned. So that's why I think they let him play longer than. But keep in mind what I'm saying, bro. You can't. Now, I will tell you this: the next game you can have a pretty good idea of what is going to happen. But now let me ask you this: now I got you. Now I got you here. And your Cowboys play late on tonight, and they play.
That's right.
They play tonight. Now here's the concern. Now let me say this. This is the last Saturday that sports therapy will be coming at doing Saturday. Now next week we're gonna be coming on Sunday at around. We'll probably kick it off at 12:00 because that way.
Okay.
That way, the next week games will be played probably Friday and Saturday, and so we'll have a real good view, a real good idea of we can do some we can really be able to talk about the games because they'll be played because they're trying to finish this thing off, because the last preseason game nobody's gonna play, but next week is gonna be more of a dress rehearsal. Starters are gonna play pretty much a half, so. But your Cowboys take on the Denver Broncos, and the reason I'm talking about this game is because I saw some footage. And I saw the Broncos. I saw the Broncos because they scrimmaged with the Broncos. And I saw some footage of the Broncos intimidating the Cowboys. Now I am a Commander fan, so I can't be impartial.
Okay.
But that's what I saw. I saw them.
Well, I tell you this. Like I said before, preseason is just that. It's getting ready for it's laying the foundation for what's about to happen to you, and they don't give you all of the meat and all of the seasoning all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, when we get ready to play them for real, and when something's on the line, I can tell you they're gonna get after that new quarterback, and they're gonna handle their business with him. They remember who he is. We know who he is, and we're gonna definitely get after him. And we're gonna want to see if he can really throw that ball, if he really want to run that ball. And we're gonna let these boys chase him around the yard and see what he can do.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you this question: though. What are y'all gonna do about wide receiver?
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. These young guys, like I told you before, it's gonna be, next man up. Guys are gone. Maury's out of there. Some other guys are going on. Some other guys are still down. But it's like I told you, it's a young man's league, and so. Next man up, you got to come on with it. If you can play, these are NFL guys, so you don't have that long to kind of set your mark.
And what does the NFL stand for?
Not for long. So you don't have long to get on the good foot. And I think Jerry already knows that. He's pretty much weak in that department right now. They don't have a big name go-to guy, so I'm out there now. We know it's one guy that's out there. We've asked him to come on, but he's that Hollywood guy right now.
Call that name so we'll know who you're talking about.
Well, you know who he is. I can't call his name. He played for the Rams last year, so it is what it is.
Does the name start with an O?
It could be, it could be. I just can't, because I can't see him in the Cowboy uniform. I just can't.
OBJ,
I guess
man.
he would be like, I'm gonna give you a throwback. If he was a throwback, he'd probably be in the same category with Butch Johnson. How about that?
Yeah. I like Butch. But do that.
Do that earthquake. Guy,
Do that earthquake.
Yeah,
Youngsters don't know about that earthquake, baby. Yeah. They don't know about that earthquake.
They don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about that. So, yeah. He'll probably be in that category, but You know, again, Butch didn't stay around Dallas too long, you know, because they wasn't too much ready for that.
True.
You know, so Dallas is kind of a weird team, you know. So, you know, we got to have a good core of about 2 to 3 guys that we can throw the ball around the yard to, you know. And you know, C.D. Lamb is going to be all right, you know, but he's a little undersized, I think. He doesn't have a lot of meat on the bones, but he knows how to get down and get up and play for the next play. So we'll see. We'll see what some of these young guys got, man. I'm looking for, you know, I'm looking for that next Drew, you know, Tony Hill, you know, some of those guys, Terrell Owens, you know. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that guy. And I just don't see that guy coming to us anytime soon. You know, Odell Beckham he is who he is. And so we all know he's probably going to land back with the Rams. But right now, you know, he's on the mend. And so there's really not any one big time receiver out there that we can just kind of go to and that can just utilize for that deep ball that he can underthrow from time to time.
Yeah, he
You
do.
hear what I said? Underthrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, he underthrows the ball a little too much.
But see, to me, the Cowboys need the type of receiver like you talk about because Dak will underthrow it. They need the type of receiver that will go and get it. You got to have one of them receivers that will go and get that ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'll fight for that ball.
I'm talking about a Megatron type.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Julio Jones. Yes.
There, but I know he's in Tampa, so you know, I could just see his career being turned around. You know.
You need a guy that can go. You need that guy that can go and get it.
Right.
Daz was that type.
Yeah.
Because Dad ain't running no pattern, but if you throw that bad boy, and he gonna fight you for it.
You know, well he tried to prove to everybody that he can run patterns. You know, he can run. You know, he can run a different routes.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
They should just let Daz do what he do best. Daz, get open, catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? Dude, get up. You get paid to catch the ball.
That's it. That's what we need to do.
And it's up to the offensive coordinator to figure out how to get this ball in your hand. Now, I don't need you running the exact pattern. I need you.
Cowboys want to take it.
Huh?
Cowboys always waving that magic wand.
Yeah.
You know, they always have a OC that just waves his magic wand. And
like man,
it's not like that.
Let him get open and catch that ball. But hey, my brother, I enjoyed talking to you. Right. I love talking to you. And like I said, this will be the last Saturday. And y'all can. And next week we rolling Sunday at 12 o'clock. So because we're slowly easing into that Monday morning, because that's when we're gonna be up and doing our thing. Because we're gonna be rolling that Monday morning when football season starts from 7 a.m. to 8. After the games are played and everybody all mad and pissed off and all that, and they're gonna really need some therapy, bro. So hey, bro, I appreciate you calling, man.
I tell you, all right. Well, appreciate it, man. Thanks again.
All right. Okay.
Hope everything continues to roll for you. All right.
All right.
The show.
All right.
Show, Sports Therapy, #1 show in the Metroplex.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right, brother.
Bye bye.
All right, if you are in the Dallas Metroplex area and you are looking for a good massage, then you need to see my friends at Train Touch Muscle Therapy. Let me give you a number. I need you to call 469-754-1232. Those are my friends at Train Touch Muscle Therapy. Call them and they will give you the hookup if you say you saw the show on Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr. All right. As we wrap it and cap it for this week, I want to say hello to the country Kennies down in the good old great state of Arkansas. I want to say all a big hello and a big thank you to those in the booth. And also, want to say a big hi and thanks to all my co-workers at Houston Middle School. And keep up the good work. And I will see y'all Monday. And now, last but not least, all of my friends on the yard, to all the Golden Lions. Stay golden, baby. Whatever you do, stay golden.